2 years ago, I attended a networking function with my good friend Matt. Now, Matt is a freelance operator and self-employed in the world of business. He works in a different industry to me, but we're friends and we went along to the networking event together to meet some people and hopefully get some business opportunities out of it. Now, let me tell you something. Just last week, Matt got a great business opportunity from a connection he made at that networking function 2 years ago. And why did this happen? It happened because Matt knows how to network. Now, if you're the sort of person who would rather stick a fork in your eye than go to a networking function, A, I understand it, but B, have a listen because this will really, really help you. 4 things that you can do to actually make networking a bit of a pleasure. Here's number 1. I've got to level with you. It's attitude. If your attitude actually is, I'd rather stick a fork in my eye than go to this function, can I just suggest that you don't go? You need to fake it till you make it to some extent with these things. So if you have the mindset before you walk out that door to head to the function that this is going to be fun, I'm going to meet some really interesting people, I might actually learn something, and who knows, some opportunities may come my way. It's a much healthier mindset than the old fork in the eye, I promise you. Give it a go, but yeah, really get yourself up for it mentally. That's the start, because your attitude will certainly inform your actions when you arrive at the function. Okay, here's the second tip. Have you ever been to a networking event or even just a standard social event and someone's introduced themselves to you by name and 5 minutes later you've forgotten their name? It's happened to me too on a regular basis. It's okay if everyone's wearing a name badge, but that's not always the case. Let me tell you something. The reason this happens is probably not your fault. The truth of the matter is most people do not introduce themselves in a way that makes it easy to remember their name. So I'm now going to show you how you can do this so you don't fall victim to this same problem. You want to be memorable. Of course you do at a networking event. That's kind of the point. Introduce yourself like this. Hello, my name is Paul Bindig. And did you see what I did there? I said my name with a slightly higher pitch for Paul and then lowered it for Bindig. Paul Bindig. And I paused a little bit between my first name and my last name, just so I had time to get into the ear of the person I'm talking to, particularly as my surname is a little bit unusual. Try it yourself. Don't throw your name away and give it a 5-cent value like I hear so many people do. Hi, I'm Paul Bindig. People aren't going to remember that when you rush through it. Say your name clearly, much more likely to be memorable. Okay, here's my third tip for getting something good out of networking, and that's this. We are going to be genuinely interested and genuinely curious about the people we meet at the function. What does that look like? We're going to ask them questions. We're going to pay attention when they answer, and we're going to listen and remember what they tell us. A, that's respect and courtesy. B, it will serve you very well when it comes time for you to talk about what you do. And that's tip 4. When we discuss what we do, we remember what the other person told us about themselves, and we reference that when we're talking about what we do. For example, if the person I've met is a florist and my area of expertise is painting walls blue, then as I'm saying what I do, I will say something like, well, it's interesting that you're a florist because what I do is I paint walls blue. And when I work with florists, I often find these are some of the challenges they face. Now, you don't make it up. Of course, what you're talking about has to make sense and be true, but it will create a great opportunity for connection and make that conversation so much more rich and enjoyable for both of you. And that's where potential opportunities can come up. Now, those 4 tips are going to help make your next networking function a lot more enjoyable, a lot more interesting, and who knows, you may get some business out of it too.